Ladies, there is no such thing as toned muscle. That doesn't exist. It's not real. It's just a stupid made up term. And somewhere along the way, women have been taught that light weights plus high reps equals toned muscle, while heavy weights equals bulky muscle. And that lie is exactly why so many of you are afraid to lift real weights right now, when ironically, that's exactly what you actually need to be doing. Listen, muscle is muscle. There is no toned muscle and bulky muscle. When you see somebody who has a more defined figure, what you're actually seeing is muscle plus lower body fat percentage, which equals more definition. And when you see somebody who has a more bulky body or that bulky figure that you're looking at, it's still muscle, but with a higher body fat percentage, which gives a softer and bigger look to it. That's it. So if your goal is to look toned, you don't need a special rep range. You just need to focus on building muscle and reducing your body fat enough to actually see it. Now let's talk about how this applies to your training, because this is where a lot of folks mess up. So higher reps in that 15 to 20 plus rep range are of course going to be lighter weights, and that can feel easier on your joints. But if done with any type of intensity, they're also going to burn, and that burn is not equivalent to muscle growth. That's just fatigue from lactic acid buildup. And because it's so uncomfortable, most people stop way before the muscle is actually challenged enough to stimulate muscle growth. So you feel it, but you didn't actually adequately train it for muscle building. Now, lower reps in that 5 to 10 rep range are of course going to use heavier weights, but they're also going to have less burn from less lactic acid buildup. And it's easier to actually push closer to muscular failure. And that's how you actually build muscle. So yes, it feels a little bit heavier. And yes, it can also be mentally intimidating, but it's also more effective when done correctly. But ultimately, what should you be doing? Now, I always recommend for my clients to stay mostly in that 5 to 10 rep range, not because it's magic, but because it gives you enough weight to actually challenge the muscle, but also enough control to stay safe and not put your joints in any type of danger. A simple rule of thumb is for big lifts like squats or hip thrusts, do 5 to 6 reps. For dumbbell movements like dumbbell presses or walking lunges, do 6 to 8 reps or even 6 to 8 reps on each side. And then for machines like leg curls and extensions, a little bit higher, around that 8 to 10 rep range is perfectly fine. But I can't stress enough that you can build muscle in almost any rep range when done correctly and still progress. It's not about perfection, it's about training hard and enough to actually force change in your body. You don't get toned from light weights or any other rep range, really. You get toned from properly building muscle and reducing your body fat enough to actually see said muscle. So stop chasing the burn and start chasing progression. I hope this video was able to help somebody, and remember that Jesus saves and God loves you. So until next time, stay blessed.